As we start this webinar and our friends are joining us from all around the world, it is fantastic during this JOTA-JOTI event to have you coming from everywhere. Friends, as you are connecting, could you please in the text box type where you are coming from, where you are joining us? It'd be fantastic to see where you are. This is a session that we invite you to ask questions. And of course, at the end, we'll have a chance for you to have those questions answered if there are things that we haven't answered during. My name is Delshad. I am one of the facilitators here at World Scouting. And today, well, this evening, depending on where you are, Kavina is joining us from Ocean Generation. Kavina, how are you?
I'm good. Good morning from where I am. So I'm joining from Bristol, in England. And yeah, but you've took the words right out of my mouth because I would love to hear, where people are joining from. So yeah, definitely pop in the chat where you're coming from. But I'm the head of youth engagement at Ocean Generation. And if we're ready, I'm happy to kick off.
Absolutely. We do have some friends who are still joining, but the floor is all yours.
Amazing. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining. You could be doing anything with your time this morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, but you chose to be here. So you've already taken the big leap. So hopefully I'll make the next 45 minutes of your time very worthwhile. A lot of you might have actually remembered us from previous years. So this is actually our third year taking part in JOTA-JOTI. So Ocean Generation have run a couple of other workshops in past JOTA-JOTIs, how to be an imperfect environmentalist, and unlocking your superpower. But today we are asking the question, are we all ocean? So we want to get you as involved today, and there'll be many opportunities to do that through the chat function and through a platform called Mentimeter, which I'll introduce you to in a little while. And we really encourage you to participate, share your ideas and opinions, as this will make the session useful for all. And we're all here to learn. So there are no silly questions and there are no wrong ideas. So definitely be supportive with your friends in the chat. And the aim of the next 45 minutes is to get equipped with the tools to raise your voice so you can utilize your unique talents to restore the health of our ocean and our planet. So for those of you that had not heard of Ocean Generation before, so we bring the ocean to everyone, everywhere by translating complex science into engaging content, programs, and practical actions. What does that mean in practice? So our mission is really just about that, is making sure that anyone, anywhere can access that engaging programs and practical action. So JOTA-JOTI is really a big part of our story, and we love reaching you wherever you are across the world. And our vision is really seeing a world where the ocean is freed from human threats. But how do we do that? Because there's so many organizations like us in this space, right? So all we want to do is change the narrative. So no fear mongering, no big data, no oversimplifications. We just need millions of people understanding the importance of a healthy ocean to build the future we need. So we've got three engagement programs that we run for 3 to 25-year-olds, one of which is Wave Makers, which is what today's workshop is all part of. So what is a wave maker? So a wave maker is really about our accelerating social action, incubating innovation, and supporting young people to bring sustainability into any career option beyond traditional blue and green career paths. So we need accountants caring about the ocean. We need bankers caring about the ocean. We need engineers caring about the ocean and bringing that into their work lives as well. So you're in a really beautiful space in your life at the moment where the decisions that you make today, from the subjects that you're studying, from where you're volunteering your time, and the actions that you're taking will inform your future. So hopefully we've come at exactly the right time to help influence that. Ooh. So, just in the chat box at the moment, so Darshad is going to share a couple of links. So I just wanted to share the program components of Wavemakers. So we've got both our Deep Currents workshops that we run online and in person, and we've got Wavemakers Stories as well, which is our storytelling fun. So if you don't mind, Darshad, if you just pop those couple of first links in the chat, that would be great. So you can start having a look at that already. So I love opening a quote by some of the other youth activists in the ocean space around the world. So I don't know how many of you have heard of Autumn Pelletier. So she is a passionate Indigenous rights and water activist whose journey began at the tender age of 12 in Ontario, Canada, where she advocates for the universal right to clean drinking water. In 2018, at the age of 13, Peltier addressed the world leaders at the United Nations General Assembly on the issue of water protection. And in April 2019, Peltier was named the Chief Water Commissioner by the Anishinaabe Nation. And I love this quote by her, who said that says, "Keep going, don't look back. And if you have an idea, just do it. No one is going to wait for you or tell you what to do." So I'd love for you to bring that energy, not just into this workshop, but into any ideas that you have. You are the person that's going to make it happen. And I just love that empowerment spirit that lives within this quote. And I hope you can take that away today. So today we're going to use Mentimeter. So I don't know how many of you have used Mentimeter before, but it's an audience engagement platform. And I'd love for you to answer the question, which ocean creature would you be and why? So if I just come back to this screen here, this always takes a bit of wizardry on my part, but I'm usually a dab hand. So hopefully on your screen now, you should have some instructions to go to www.menti.com, or if you have a phone next to you, you can also scan this QR code and enter this code. So the code is 12027249. So the joining instructions will remain at the top of the screen. So I can see some thumbs up coming in. So yeah, give me a little thumbs up once you're in the room. Oh, there we go. I love the floating thumbs. This is what you have to do in virtual spaces to make you feel like, okay, there are really people here. So yeah, thank you for the thumbs up. So once you're in, the joining instructions will remain. So keep joining in. And then, yeah, if you could answer this question. So which ocean creature would you be and why? So if you could be any ocean creature in the world, sometimes we get deep sea creatures, which are very much in the media and coming out, lots of amazing pictures of the deep ocean, some creatures like that. Or we get some people choosing ocean creatures that go on land and also go in the water. Jellyfish, love that. Remember to also put and why. So I will share mine with you. So mine is, I always think of myself as a walrus. So a walrus because they look very ungraceful and they're quite large and loud, which is just like me. But they are just so sweet to their young. I don't know if you've ever seen, but I would definitely recommend Googling or looking up on YouTube of a video of a walrus cuddling its baby. And they're actually really soft, caring animals. So I feel like quite a lot of the time, a lot of ocean creatures are misunderstood. So I love that. Oh, I love the person that said shark because spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about sharks today. And the fact that being a scary animal is thrilling. Oh, I love, we've actually never ever had in my years of running this workshop, we've never had someone say, I want to be coral, because of course coral is alive. It's nice to see and touch. And we've got a couple of people saying octopus. And some people say that they are the most alien-like, but it's the opposite, which fascinates me. And a dolphin because she is smart. So yeah, definitely keep adding to this as we're going on. You'll be able to see each other's answers come up. So it's really interesting to see the reason why someone has chosen that. And I love the blue ocean with a windy and calm feeling, no shark and jellyfish. So both shark and jellyfish are very misunderstood. So I'll come back, but keep popping your answers on there. So anyone still joining us, feel free to keep going and adding your thoughts as well of which ocean creature you would be and why. Yeah, so our journey today, so we're going to be talking about our ocean, of course. And then I did say spoiler alert, so we're going to talk about 5 facts that would change the way you think about sharks. Then we're going to map your local ocean connection. Don't worry if that doesn't make sense now, it will by the time we get there. And then we're going to look at our framework called the 5 Rs and looking at plastic pollution and how you can apply this framework. Again, don't worry if that sounds like I'm speaking nonsense, but it will all make sense once we get there. And I also wanted to just highlight, so this workshop today is part of Wavemakers, and we've got 3 other currents within our Wave Makers program called Your Power, Your Planet, and Your Voice. So if you're interested in what we're doing today and what we're covering today, then definitely have a look at our program online and feel free to sign up to a webinar coming up. So here at Ocean Generation, we prescribe to 4 core beliefs. The first is our ocean. So we know that in order to get people to feel motivated to protect our ocean, we need them to connect and love it. Our ocean is incredible and supports all life on Earth. It is home to thousands of plants and organisms, yet scientists estimate that 91% of ocean species are still to be discovered. I always find it fascinating that people go out into space when we haven't even uncovered what's in our ocean on our planet. So, take for example the blue whale. It's not only the largest animal alive, but the largest to have ever lived. Blue whales also have one of the loudest voices on Earth. Their call can be louder than a jet engine, and it's thought that in good conditions, blue whales are capable of hearing each other across distances of up to 5,000 miles. So that's like someone like me here in the UK shouting all the way to someone in China and hearing me. So if anyone is dialing in from China, give me a hello and let me see if you shout really loud, I'll tell you if I can hear you, but probably not. Right. So, yeah, so I'd love to share 5 facts that will change how you think about sharks. So, sharks are really thought about kind of scary creatures, right? So we had someone saying that they want to be a shark because they're thrilling and scary. But our irrational fear of sharks is limiting their support for their conservation. Let's be real. Who doesn't immediately think about the iconic theme song of the Jaws movie when they hear the word sharks? Do you know the one that I mean? The one that goes da 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 da. So the movie's powerful influence portraying sharks as mindless killers had a significant negative impact on the perception of sharks. And even the director of that movie has said that he regrets making it because of the fear that it's caused around sharks as well. And in reality, this couldn't be further from the truth. So, number one, sharks have been around before trees even existed. So, that is mind blowing. So, sharks are one of the oldest evolutionary groups. So, the earliest evidence for sharks dates back to 400 or 450 million years ago. And trees only evolved around 360 million years ago. So, I had no idea until I found this out that sharks were so ancient. Then some sharks are essential for a healthy ecosystem. So sharks play many roles that help keep the ocean ecosystem in balance. Some sharks are apex predators, also known as top predators or super predator, and is a predator at the top of a food chain without any natural predators of its own. They control the food chain. Others become food for different species themselves. Sharks also travel a lot in the open ocean. What does that mean? So this means that they connect even the most widely spaced food webs, transporting nutrients across the ocean. So they play a huge role in that. And sharks have more to fear from. Let me show you something. So here is a chart that shows you how many number of sharks are killed annually. And it's actually at least 80 million sharks that are killed each year. As of 2024, that number exceeds the total population of Thailand, the UK, and France. So imagine someone just obliterating that country. That is how much damage we are doing to sharks as humans. Sharks are also vulnerable to overexploitation. So sharks grow slowly and take a long time to reach reproductive maturity. For shark mothers, raising their pups takes a lot of energy and time. So they also have to take long rest periods between pregnancies. This makes sharks far less resilient and slower to recover from overexploitation. I think it's because they're so ancient. That's why they're probably taking their time with that. And then overfishing is the greatest threat to sharks. So shark and ray populations have dropped by 70% over the last 50 years, mainly because fishing pressure has increased. A major reason for shark fishing is the shark fin trade. So it's often only illegal to bring shark fins to land if they're separated from the shark. As a result, the demand for shark meat is increasing and unregulated fisheries continue to pressure shark populations. So I think you can agree that sharks are pretty awesome and they are really misunderstood. So what you can already do, we all have the power to change this. You can already think about if you do eat fish, where do you get your fish from? And can you make sure that it's not kind of, supporting this illegal fishing trade? The other is that you can now talk to your friends and family about how misunderstood sharks are. If we can turn back the perception of sharks, that's already a huge step forward for sharks. And I'm sure they'd be giving us a high fin and not a high five to say thanks for having their back. So everyone knows about the five world oceans. So I'm sure you've learned in school the Atlantic, the Pacific, the Indian, the Arctic, and the Southern. However, at Ocean Generation, we simply prefer to refer to them as one singular ocean. We are all part of this giant, single, and interconnected ocean. What does that mean in practice? So, what happens in one part of the ocean will affect the other parts too. So, if our actions pollute the River Thames in the UK or a river near where you are, this will impact the water in the Pacific Ocean too. So I'd love for you to pop in the chat. So even if you don't live by the coast or the water, have a think. What is the body of water that's closest to you? So it might be a stream, it might be a canal, it might be a river or an estuary. It might be the actual ocean too, because I know a lot of you live by the water as well. But it might not be exactly what you think of when you think ocean. But all the water on our planet is a finite water system, just like I said. So that means even the water in your toilet, even the water in the drains, even the water coming out your tap is all part of that one ocean. And something else amazing is that the water that's been on our planet has been the same since forever. So we're drinking the same water that dinosaurs did. Um, so what I'd like you to do now is if you can join me again on that Mentimeter. So I'm going to pop us back on there now. And if you can follow me along. Oh, I love that people just kept popping in. Amazing. So I'd love for you to tell me about your local ocean connection. So it might be, I love going to the river near me because I love watching the animals using it and swimming in it. Or I love going to my local lake because I love, swimming it in the summer. How do you enjoy your local space of water? So it might be a pond, it might be a canal, it might be a stream, a river, a reservoir, a lake, a sea, or the actual ocean. The thing is, every drop of water, including the 60% inside you, has cycled through the ocean. So are we all ocean? I think we can all say, yes, you are the ocean. So, yeah, everything is connected to our ocean. So, we're asking you to write out your local ocean connection. And then what we're going to do in a minute. So, really think hard. I can see someone saying, I don't have any water around me. I wish I could live in the ocean. But think. What it could be something as little as the puddles around you when it rains. What is the body of water that is nearest to you? How do you experience a connection with water in your local area? So someone's saying, I love going to the lake near my house. I could literally walk there. It's so pretty. I can't wait for the next step of this exercise for you to all to map exactly where your water spaces are. Oh, and amazing. Someone has put some beautiful fun facts about the Indian Ocean as well. It plays a critical role in global trade, climate regulation, and geopolitics. The Red Sea. Oh, I love this. These beautiful water spaces that are coming into this chat now. I feel like it's really painting a picture of where you are. Yeah, and I'd love to visit the sea in Indramayu City, but sadly, seaside, there's so much rubbish. I know. So, yeah, how does our impact on the water change our relationship with it and how we get to enjoy it and experience it? Keep adding. Yeah, lovely. The sound of the ocean early in the morning is very calm. I mean, I don't love that sound when I'm near it. And when you can hear the waves, and someone saying, yeah, I live in a landlocked country. Hello from Zimbabwe. where most lakes are dangerous and have crocodiles, but there are many pools and it rains a lot in the rainy season. Yeah, so it might be that we don't go in the water, but actually that we actually experience it. How does our mindset and our body change when we connect with water? People always say, we are born in the womb in water in our mother's tummies, and we spend 9 months in water. So we are very much connected as humans with water as well. And how does it change our body, our mind, our spirit when we're connecting with water? Even something as simple, sometimes I like just closing my eyes when I'm washing my hands and just feeling the texture of water on my hands when I'm washing them. And thinking sometimes, oh, I'm so lucky to be able to do that. So yeah, just keep popping your lovely examples of water. And someone saying, I'm afraid of the water. If I have the opportunity, I will not go near the river or sea. But now I love going to the beach, just sitting down and looking for the sunset. Yeah, that is also beautiful. Being able to be by open water, so like lakes, sea, ocean, allows us to have that stretching of the eyes, doesn't it? We can take in the horizon. Oh, someone living in the Maldives. Amazing. Very cool to live near the beach, I bet. Amazing. And someone being our ocean guide. I don't have a local ocean connection, but I can provide knowledge about the world's ocean and marine life to help you explore them. Thank you. I love an ocean guide. So keep adding to this as well if you want to. And then we're going to go on to the next page, which is, so now that you've really thought about that space of water and your local ocean connection, I'd love for you to take a pin and just pop it down and on this map of the world. So wherever you are, if you could just pop a pin down as close as possible. I know some of the countries here are teeny weeny weeny, but as close as possible to where your local ocean connection is. And I think the bit that's going to be really fascinating is, yeah, look at the pins that are coming up in the middle of countries, not anywhere near the water or the ocean at all as we would perceive it. So already your brains are thinking, yes, we are all ocean. We are all connected to the ocean. No matter where we live, we all have an ocean connection. Yes, I'm loving these pins popping up. Amazing. So again, you can see me peering. I'm using two screens, so you can probably see me peering over my first screen, trying to see where they're all popping up. I've got a very, very tiny desk, so it's very DIY at the moment. Thanks for bearing with if you're seeing my face floating around everywhere. And yeah, seeing more of them pop up. So yeah, Algeria, in Zimbabwe, China, Australia. This is so amazing to see this spread. And, if I maybe would have asked you to do this at the beginning of the workshop, I imagine quite a lot of you would have thought, oh, well, I don't live near the coast, so I guess I can't participate. But this is what I'm really trying to unlock is that we really all have a local ocean connection. So we are all connected to the ocean in some way. Definitely keep popping those pins down. And I will come back to our Canva again. So, and yeah, keep popping those pins down. So anyone else that's joining us a little bit late, we're just mapping our local ocean connections. Yeah, so of course, there is a bit of a reality, right? So humans have an impact on the ocean. So what we really want people to do is submerge themselves in wonder and appreciation of our ocean, but not leave any trace. So we have actually at Ocean Generation, we have simplified the 5 broad ways that human actions threaten the ocean. So these are climate change, pollution, which includes noise, light, chemical pollution, coastal infrastructure development, which is basically any buildings that are and kind of buildings and spaces that are built by the water and by the coast and its impact on the water. Then resource extraction, which you can see this little fish, image of a fish with a hook coming out. So yes, it can be fishing, but it's resource extraction is also anything being taken out of the ocean. So again, if you might have been looking at the news recently, you would have seen in the last few years just a lot of focus around the deep ocean and the minerals and the oils that are being taken out of there. And then finally, we've also got daily ocean use. So this can be things like, freight shipping or cruise ships or any use of the ocean that creates noise and disturbances and, again, pollution for the creatures living in our ocean as well. But so today, obviously, I want you to think about those 5 anyway. And if you're curious about exploring that more, definitely attend the Wave Maker workshop that's called all about kind of our ocean. And you can find out when the next webinar as well is by following one of those links that was shared in the chat earlier. But today, we are just going to focus on pollution. So as I said, so pollution includes light, noise, and chemicals. So one of the biggest ones, and probably the most widely known, is plastic pollution. So in fact, plastic does have its place and value. We never ever want to demonize plastic. It has made our life easier in so many ways, and it has enabled modern technology to develop life-saving medical equipment. And in some instances, it has even prevented the loss of animal lives. So did you know, for example, for many decades, the glasses that help people made to see clearly were made of turtle shell. So look, I'm wearing some glasses now, and they're not made of turtle shell, they're made of plastic. Imagine how many tortoises would have had to die in order to be able to create glasses at the scale that people use to be able to see clearly. And also think how many trees would we have cut down if we made all of our chairs and other furniture out of wood rather than plastic. So the problem with plastic is how we use it and how we manage it. We've made the mistake of calling it disposable, but how can we call something disposable when we make it from a material that we designed to last forever? So plastic pollution is important to start with because it's tangible and it has a direct relationship to our everyday behaviors and habits. And this is what we're going to focus on today. So 80% of plastic in the ocean actually comes from the land. It's in our cars, our clothes, we wrap it around the food we eat, and almost every product we consume. 1,000 rivers account for 80% of global plastic pollution into the ocean. So if it finds its way into a river, it will likely find its way into our ocean. This is also why I was trying to get you to think about what your local ocean connection is, because again, all our waterways are connected, and we do only have one finite water system. So, but the big problem of plastic is actually very small. It sounds strange, right? And so I'm talking about microplastics. Once the plastic enters the ocean, it is exposed to salt water, sunlight, wave actions, and ocean currents, and it becomes brittle and starts to break into smaller and smaller pieces, but it doesn't disappear. This means that it becomes much easier for smaller and smaller creatures to eat it, which very frequently costs them their lives. But besides that, we are also equally affected by it. Who eats the fish and seafood that eats the microplastics? Us. So humans. So remember, one way or another, we are all interconnected. If I had 4x2 Lego blocks here made of plastic, and I asked you to eat it, would you eat it? Probably not, right? But we actually ingest exactly that amount of worth of microplastics every month. So if you wouldn't eat it then we probably should figure out a way to keep it out of our ocean in the first place. So what you are seeing on the screen now is how you should think about investing your energy in terms of using less plastic. So this is a mindset shift. We call this our 5 R's framework. And this is amazing. Screenshot it if you want to. Keep it forever. Because a lot of the time, if you're anything like me, I'm thinking, oh, what should I do here? Should I recycle? Should I not use something? Should I use a tote bag? What's worse for the planet? I don't know. I don't know what to do. So, and a lot of the time, that kind of inability to decide or not understand what we're kind of working with means that a lot of us don't even take any action because we don't feel empowered to do so. It gets very confusing. So this framework helps us to just simplify things a little bit. And it's really how we should be investing our energy from the most, which is rethink at the top. So this pink bar, this coral bar, is really symbolizing our energy. So rethink is where we should spending our most energy thinking about how to change our behavior with plastic, all the way to the least. So recycling. So let's start on the least impactful action here, which is recycling. Here on the on the left hand side, right hand side, left hand side. So recycling is only is we should definitely all do it, but only 9% of plastic is recycled globally. So, and of all the plastic that is recycled, only 1% is recycled more than once. That doesn't mean we shouldn't recycle. Otherwise, we would have not put it on the chart. It is still really important to do it. But what else can we do other than recycling? So we could also reuse. So if we had something, if we'd already bought something that was plastic, what if we could find a way to reuse what we already have? So the goal here is to start seeing all plastic as valuable and treating it like gold rather than, thinking of it as disposable. And we can treat all that waste that we use as circular. So by circular, we mean using it for long-term purposes and reusing it as much as possible, repairing it instead of replacing it, and upcycling it at the end of life. With these first two, though, we are still purchasing plastic and aren't necessarily addressing the core issue. So other than recycle and reusing, we can also reduce. So if we started to reduce the amount of plastic we buy and interact with, we are making conscious decisions to stop plastic from entering our ocean. So can we begin to ask whether there is a non-plastic alternative to single-use plastics in medical context? By doing this, we will start to change our behavior with plastic and question its role in our day-to-day lives instead of just accepting it and seeing it as normal. So here in this image, you can see a wonderful tote bag. This is actually from our Ocean Apparel store, which you should definitely check out, with a beautiful illustration that was made by one of our wave makers. But this is a great example, right? We're so used to using kind of plastic carry bags, and we've seen a big shift over the last few years where people are saying, first of all, refusing, but also reducing their impact by coming prepared with a handy tote bag instead of having to use a plastic bag. So again, it's really looking at the plastic in your life and thinking, what is, treasure, what is really important to be made out of plastic, and what is plastic trash, really? And can we have an alternative there? The next one is refuse. So this one is pretty empowering. So you have the power to refuse a product if there is a non-plastic alternative. When you're out and about and you're shopping, you can refuse a plastic bag. The word no is so amazing to use it. And it is a whole sentence. You can say, no, thank you, saying that I've come prepared with my handy tote bag, or you could just reuse a cardboard box, or just sometimes I just carry things in my arms. But no is such a powerful word. A lot of the time, people offer you lots of things made out of plastic as freebies, right? So if you ever go to any kind of event, sometimes people give you pens or maybe a bag or a badge or whatever it looks like. And a lot of the time they're made out of plastic. If you just say, no, thank you, that's amazing. You've stopped that bit of plastic being purchased and then having to go in the bin and then having to be dealt with and maybe end up in the ocean. So the word no is the most powerful word you can use. But then this is rethink. So rethink is the goal we want to be striving towards. We tend to use plastic on a daily basis without thinking about it. It's a force of habit. But when we stop and think, we can be so much more intentional and creative. How many things can we think about, rethink about that are made of single-use plastic now that we could be making something different? The first person who probably made a toothbrush made of bamboo instead of plastic, someone had to create that and invent that, right? So are there alternative materials that we should be exploring? And this is where you come in. We need people that are really creative and innovative and thinking of solutions where they can see the problems and starting to create those in the future. So we're definitely on the right path already, and there's loads of people doing amazing things. But this is really where we want to maximize our energy and really invest our time in. So now that we've thought of that, I want you to think about, so I'm going to go back to our beautiful Mentimeter here. And I want you to think about those 5 R's. I'll keep them on screen here for a little bit as well. So you can just think about those 5 behaviors, maybe note them down, write them down on a bit of piece of paper next to you, and write down recycle, reuse, reduce, refuse, rethink. And then I want you to make your promise to the ocean. So what is something, an action that you can pledge to take to make an impact on the ocean? So it could be related to these 5 R's, but it's all about lessening our impact on the ocean. So let me bring it up here. I love that there are more pins appearing as well from before. I'm just going to move the screen out the way. So the Mentimeter should be on that. What one ocean action do you pledge to take that is related to the 5 R's or about reducing your impact in terms of plastic pollution on the ocean? So what is your promise to the ocean? I love it. That's a big, ambitious goal. Change the world without plastic. So obviously plastic does play a very important role, right? But wherever it's not necessary, yeah, let's think about alternatives. Love the thoughts coming in. Create innovations to bring recycling to areas that litter, or probably creating jobs and helping the ocean. I love that because that is so true, isn't it? So in terms of like building this future, it's not idealistic because actually creating these solutions will create the jobs that we need. It addresses a lot of issues basically by being able to impact the environment. You can also impact society. So it's really important to remember like the ocean doesn't need us. We need the ocean. I'm sure the planet will be here a long time after we're gone as well. So there's so much we can still do. Acting consciously, even that is so simple, isn't it? But I love the intentionality that means. So by acting consciously and taking responsibility for our choices, we can empower others to do the same. That is so intentional and beautiful. High five to whoever wrote that. I love that. Less use of plastic and starting to use or creating alternatives of plastic. And I love this. Remember, this is your promise. Okay. So I want you to write this down for yourself as well and put it somewhere where you can see it. Remember, this is the promise that I made. How can I make it happen? If you need any help on that journey, you get in touch with us and we will support you to making sure that happens. We've got loads of other tools to support with that as well. So please keep adding your ocean actions on here as well. I'll bring it back to our Canva deck here. Yeah, keep adding your promises to the ocean. I'm going to read them all and share them after as well. So the ocean is too big and too central to the planet's future to ignore. The ocean is not a victim. The human-induced threats to the ocean are huge, but the solution it provides are even greater. We must explorers to unlock all the secrets of the ocean. And we need to take action now. We are coming together to stop all the harmful practices that are damaging our ocean. It is up to all of us. So again, the ocean doesn't need us. We need it. We are currently, I don't know how many of you know this, but we're currently in the decade of the ocean. And Ocean Generation really agrees with the goal of being able to protect 30% of our ocean by 2030, by the end of the decade of the ocean. So it's called 30 by 30. So if you hear this anywhere, you can say, yes, I know what that means. It's time to let the ocean do its thing and flourish again. And look, we've witnessed how the ocean can heal itself during the pandemic. All it took was a few months of quiet and not disturbing the ocean for all the coral reefs to come back to life. So it doesn't take very much to make that positive impact, but we all need to do something together. So next steps. You are now a wave maker and you're joining a movement of over 15,000 wave makers around the world and counting. So the next things you could do immediately, again, there should be some links being shared in the chat now. First of all, you can follow us on Instagram. So for every new follower we get on Instagram, we plant a mangrove tree in Madagascar. We're part of the Mangrove Mandate. Mangroves are amazing super trees because they hold 3 to 5 times more carbon per hectare than forests on land, and so are superheroes in protecting our planet. If you follow us, you will see that we actually share so much amazing bite-sized ocean science and education that you'll love, including especially if you love the shark facts that we shared today. There's lots more where that came from. There's also Wavemaker Stories. So I just want to remind you of Wavemaker Stories, which is our storytelling fund and is open to video content creators and writers aged 16 to 25 years old. Young people can submit ocean positive stories, and if selected to be platformed on our channels, they get paid a £50 prize for their work as well. So any budding journalists out there. And this is kind of what it looks like. So if you go to our website, this is how you can find the Wavemaker Stories page as well. But there should be a direct link being shared in the chat. Next is also our Ocean Conversation Pack. So this is we've just published this year. So I know lots of you will be thinking of building employability skills. So if you're interested in learning facilitation techniques and project management skills, we've got the amazing Ocean Conversation Pack, which has got everything we need to get people talking about one of the Earth's most important ecosystems, which is our ocean. It's got lots of facilitation tips and tricks and a complete, start to end guide of how to do that. If you feel nervous and you don't want to host your own ocean conversation yourself independently, we can also teach you how. So you can get in touch to book a how-to workshop, or you can even ask us to host your ocean conversation. So whatever you need, we are here for you. So next on the Mentimeter, if we just go back there, is I would just like your feedback. And after your feedback, I will share your challenge code, which I'm sure lots of you are waiting to get. So there's a quick form. Don't worry, this is anonymous. So just fill it out honestly. And this is just for me, so I can keep it as well. So this Mentimeter will stay live. So please, please, please do share your feedback because it allows us to make sure that we keep improving our projects and programs to make them the best that they can be. So please share your feedback in here now. And then finally, the moment you've all been waiting for. Thank you for all your time, your energy, your thoughts, your interactions. Your challenge code for this session is HUUJW. And I'm sure
Davina,
that will be popped in the chat as well.
absolutely. Thank you so much for this session. It has been fantastic to hear this, to have the opportunity to learn from you about how we can help to protect our oceans. In the last few minutes before we need to wrap up, I'm sorry, we do have some questions that some of our friends have popped into the chat,
Sure.
which I
Brilliant.
can read out for you if you'd like, or if you can see them, we can just go through them very quickly.
Do you mind reading them out? That might be, or I can stop
Not a
sharing
problem.
actually. Shall I stop sharing and then we can
Sure.
my screen and then I can actually see the chat questions. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Do you know where the first questions are?
So in Q&A, I'd love to hear a presentation about the ocean. Sometimes I feel sad when fishermen catch fish instantly by boom fishing. Anonymous says how sharks evolved over millions of years to become apex predators. Um, Question from Amara. Is it true that in the world, the total amount of water is 70% and 30% is mainland?
Yeah, so again, there's a beautiful symmetry between like our bodies and the ocean, which is exactly why, we called this whole session, Are We All Ocean? Because it was a bit of a trick question. The answer is we are all ocean, right? So we have so much water in our bodies, so does the planet. So it's really important the way we look after ourselves and well, the way we look after our planet is indirectly the way that we look after ourselves. And an unhealthy planet and an unhealthy ocean will mean unhealthy humans as well. So we are seeing that impact, but I really want to impress that it's not doom and gloom. There's so many amazing people creating incredible solutions, and we are so on the right path. I feel like, especially in the last few years, if you see the acceleration with how people are creating new solutions, it's just amazing. So definitely, I feel like if you feel very saddened by what's happening in the world at the moment, and especially with pollution, follow Ocean Generation. We've promised that we'll turn that frown upside down and make you feel energized to take action.
Fantastic. Look, Kavina,
Any
on
other
behalf of
questions?
Scouts.
Oh,
Oh,
I was just going to say, any other questions, feel free to DM them to us on Instagram as well. We've got a marine science officer within Ocean Generation as well. We really pride ourselves on being sound when it comes to the science. So you can trust the answers and replies that we give you as well. So yeah.
fantastic. Kavina, on behalf of all the Scouts who are watching this live recording and participating here live, thank you for sharing your knowledge and your understanding with us. It is unfortunately the time for the end, so we will say goodbye now, and we hope to see you all in another session.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Bye.
Take care.